Mine was standing in front of her friend's house while looking straight into her room and so, Ruby, I'm sorry, I know I was wrong. Forgive me, Mine was trying hard to control her laugh. I'm sorry, I know I'm useless, but still I don't like your gift. Ruby rolled her eyes and closed the window and started laughing. Ruby was mad at her because Mine was jealous of her another bestie. I will tell you what I want. She was talking to herself. I want to go on a beautiful island and spend a week there. I want a beautiful date there and a dance there with a stranger. I want this happen so I will never forget, but it's very hard because I don't have money to go there. She stood there while getting lost. One was about to go, but someone pulled her into the car and everything blacked out. Ruby opened the window and saw that Van was not there. Did she go? She asked from herself and closed the window. The next day, Van opened her eyes and rubbed them. She tried to recognize where she was. She looked at the room. It was a beautiful room. She immediately sat down while her heartbeat was over. She only remembered that someone pulled her in the car and now she was there. She slowly moved the blanket and got up. When she looked out, her eyes widened. Is this a drama? Is this really a dream? She looked back and her dress was on the couch. How can I come here to someone? She was about to open the door, but the waiter entered with the food. This is for you, he said while smiling. Van looked at the food and, why are you giving me this? Well, he's a rich man, but I don't know how you spend up here. Maybe, but why I don't know him? Maybe he's your secret admirer. Don't smile because, yes, he walked out and she sat down. She didn't understand. Why not a single tear is falling? Why I'm feeling good. She looked at the place and while if I'm being by a rich man, I don't care because living in poverty become hard for me. I know it's not good for me, but what kind of person he is, but he is fulfilling my dream. She looked at the place and there were so many rich people. She was alone in between them and was about to go back, but because of her awareness, but like it, she flinched and looked at him. He was standing behind her. A few minutes she didn't realize she was staring at him. I heard you saying that you wanted to visit the island, so I decided to fulfill your wish. You don't have to be this nervous. I'm not a bad person. I don't want anything from you. Then why do you fulfill my wish? I don't know. I just want to fulfill your wish. Now let's go. They came out and she looked at the beautiful island and couldn't believe on her eyes. She was so happy and nervous while standing beside a handsome man. You can do what you want to do. William is with you. She looked at his guard and she walked out, leaving her with William. Do you know every place of this place? He said yes. Then show me. He nodded and they both started walking. That was her dream to live a life like this. She was in her favorite place. She came here and looked at the beautiful sea. She smiled and walked to it. She touched it and ran back while smiling, but then she jumped into it and started swimming. She was very happy. At that time, she didn't care about her life. She stood up and looked at the hotels, and then she saw him standing there looking at him. And as she was sitting here while looking at herself in the mirror, she was fixing her hair. William was looking at her weirdly. One wanted to meet that man so impatiently. She was waiting for him. Suddenly he came. She got up and greeted him happily. He sat down in front of her and the waiter started serving the dishes. So tell me about yourself comfortably and no need to be afraid of me. Okay, my name is Why I live in Busan. Oh, I'm also from Busan. Really? I worked in the store, so I completed my study. I wanted to open a store. So why do you do this? Well, I'm running a company and I like to fulfill the wishes of people. When you was your age, someone helped me, and after that person, I keep doing that. Just remember that person. That woman is a what person is a woman? He said yes. Well, let's eat dinner. You must be tired. She nodded and they started eating. He was looking in so much love in that person. That woman left her after they ate. They talked about little thing. He asked her about the reason for. She came back into the room and laid down. She was feeling so good, not caring about how she was with a stranger. She closed her eyes and prayed not to go back. She just wanted to close to him, where she could see him daily and talk to him. Well, she was very weak in controlling emotions. She could immediately started liking someone. The next day she woke up and sat down. She had a sun after seeing the view. She was happy that she was there. She got up after doing her routine. She walked out happily because she was so happy. She came out and saw him sitting with some businessman. He looked at her and smiled. She also smiled and looked at William. He started to go to the avenue and he started walking and she started following him. She sat down here and started waiting for him. He came after a few minutes and they ate breakfast together. He promised her that he would join her for a walk. She was happy that finally she found the man of her dream. Anyone could fall in love with him. She was not feeling ordinary at that time because she was sitting with him. In the evening, they came here and were talking about working together. He was telling her crazy story where she was dumpy and how can she was telling everything to a stranger. Suddenly a wave came and she looked at him. No, I'm not. She definitely had a son and also done with her. Well, he didn't know. Why are you making fun of me? I'm not. I'm sorry. They were running. He was showing how to grab up, but she was white for an Indian. She fell and he started laughing, and one just looked at him while smiling because his laugh was like him. He looked at her and I got my revenge, and now why he turned and started walking. Where are you going? She also got up and followed him. He walked towards his apartment and she just followed him. A week passed and she still didn't believe that she was there enjoying the best moment. She visited the whole island with him. He didn't touch her for once. His intentions were not bad. She clicked so many pictures with William's camera. She was getting ready because he invited her on the dinner. She wanted to tell him that she liked him. It was so because she was hesitated. She was scared that he would think that she is gold digger. She came in and he was sitting there. She smiled and she sat down in front of him. You are looking beautiful. Thank you. You always look handsome. Thank you. Let's enjoy the dinner. I have something for you after this. After dinner, she came here with him after a few couples were dancing, but they stopped after seeing him. But his guards signed them not too afraid of him. They walked in the middle and stood in front of each other. One was so excited, let's run, but will not touch. He put his arm around her in the air and they started dancing like this. They were not touching each other, but it was looking very beautiful. His shoulder in shining, and they enjoyed a lot. But suddenly, when you are going back tomorrow, we will never see each other again. He stopped and her smile fell, but I don't want to go back. But you have to, please. I want to stay with you. I said, I want you. Please stay with you. She followed him and Jimin, please don't do this. I started liking you. Don't send me back. I feel good with you. Please don't do this. Man, please go back to your room. I don't want to hurt you. He turned and, please don't do this. Her tears started falling. She sat down on the ground. I looked at her. Well, sometimes we have to accept reality. This time is up now. After today, we will become strangers again. But I don't want to stranger with you. How can I make you believe that I really love you? I'm ready to do everything. And then he heard this rehab and said something which, you are not suitable for me, okay? I will not be with a girl like you. I have standards. Don't think that I love you or artwork, but she was still begging him not to leave her. He made up his mind. He could only feel pain while with me. I'm ready to feel pain. He started walking. She came back into her room and lay down. She didn't want to sleep because she knew that if she slept, he would send her back. She cried all night. She tried so hard not to sleep, but in the bed, she slept. She opened her eyes and she was in her room. She sat down and looked at her room. Her heart broke up at that moment. She just wanted to cry. She just lay down and stayed outside all day. At night, Ruby knocked on the door and she opened. She looked at her and from head to toe. And where were you? Why did you go take without telling me? It was important work. She just sat down. Mine was looking dull. Okay, but what happened? Are you sick? I don't know. I'm not feeling good. Then take the medicine. She handed her. Take it. Why nodded and took it. Why and what happened to the store you wanted to open? Does that man ready to give you the place in that amount of money? I don't know. We'll ask him tomorrow. Why tell me what happened? Nothing. I was just a little headache. Okay. After a month, Mine was placing the flower in the vase. She still didn't eat up. He just didn't understand why it became so hard for her to forget him. He was right, but she was just a stranger, but couldn't forget that stranger. She still felt for him. She always had felt heavy on her as she became a patient. She just wanted to cry to loosen the weight. Her tears started falling as she started crying while sobbing. She still wanted him so bad. She remembered his wife's face, but didn't know where he was. Once a stranger came and became the unforgettable person of my life. I've always wondered where he is or what to do. He must be go back. He must be living happily, but I'm not. I got that property. So easily, and that man gave me a small amount of money. I wonder why suddenly he gave me. He opened a small store and earned money. Not too much, it is enough for me, but now I just want him to come back. I always saw the car streak just to find him. She wiped her tears and sat down on the floor. She was so heartbroken. And still was it that moment. She tried hard to forget him, but it became very hard for her to forget that man who was her. Days and night passed like this, and 2 years passed. She still remembered him and missed him, but she started to heal. She didn't want to destroy herself more. She wrote everything in her diary, but she didn't want to read that again. She closed the chapter and diary and became busy in her life. She was cleaning the table, and a boy entered. One looked at him and handed him the thing. Thank you. He was very well behaved and walked up with her going. He looked at her and walked up. One flown and smiled. They were the same age now. She started. That was their first meetup, and 1 month had passed, and he immediately went there to buy something. Now she was sitting with Ruby, and he came. He clamor looked into her eyes. He became shy around her. One looked after her, smiled after seeing him. What you want, Jungkook? Will you go on a date with me? One started up, and Ruby became happy. Yes, she will. One looked at her and tell me wine. One have a and okay, he smiled and let's meet tomorrow. She nodded, and he walked out immediately. He's a crush on you. One he will become a very good husband, so don't let him go. Because now he's your age. Shut up. She looked down and smiled Oh, so you are happy finally someone asked you that boy whom you talked about a lot? She was generally feeling good. The next day, one wore a new dress and was nervous to meet him. She was standing and while holding the umbrella because of this summer. He came and he gave her flowers. That was a sweet gesture. Thank you, he grabbed the umbrella for her. During the whole time, he didn't let this arrest. During the whole time, he didn't let the restaurant touch her. They came here and sat down. He was looking very happy and mine also. I will tell you about him. I'm 24 years and I have worked in this small company. I lived alone and liked you so much. He smiled. He's 25. Yeah, why not if you treat me right? She was more forward than him. Yes, I will always treat you right. I will never let you go. I will do everything for you. She didn't believe someone was saying this to her. And actually, when I have liked you for years, I thought that you would reject me because I'm poor. Why do you think that you have we will run this tour together? Really, she nodded. Okay, we will do work together. She nodded and liked him. Now she stopped dreaming of getting rich and marrying a rich man. She just wanted a husband who could drive her endlessly and make her feel special. At night, they were walking on the road to go back, but suddenly a car came and all the water splashed which was on the road splashed on her. He angrily picked up the stone, sweaty wine. He looked at her and her clothes were dirty. He started to wipe the dirt with, and she asked, "Did you think that this tissue can clean this?" "Oh, no, let's go home." He entered, and "This is your house." He nodded. He sat down, and "I will come back." He nodded. She walked in the bathroom. He looked at the flowers, and they were so beautiful. He got up and touched them. In that time, she came out. She looked at him and, do you also love flowers?" He nodded and walked out. "I also love them. I love them. Well, we will plant them in the garden of our house." "Okay." He talks were very cute. "So do you like bed? I will bed. You sleep on the floor. Don't worry about it." And he nodded. After 6 months, he was holding the ring which he bought very difficultly. He saved so much money just to give her a beautiful ring. It was simple yet beautiful. Now he was standing there waiting for her. His love for her was genuine. She came and smiled. Why do you love me? Will you marry me?" Yes, he put the ring and she exactly looked at everyone. They were all were happy for her. She couldn't believe that she was so happy. Now they entered into the house and it was kind of small, but she was happy being with him because he loved her so much and she wanted that. They sat down on the floor. He didn't have anything to sit on. She didn't want anything for him except love. She was happy that he gave her a ring and but as worried at the same time. How could she afford it? He leaned towards her and they and that woman. Then she stopped dreaming of seeing Jimin again because she was happy with him. He did so much for her and it was always love. She still didn't understand why Jimin brought to her dad, but now they were spending time with. But when she opened the door, her heart sank. Jimmy was standing in front of her as usual in a suit. They stared at each other. She didn't have the stamina to speak, so he finally got married. Yes, he nodded. "And do you love him?" She answered without hesitation. "Yes, more than anyone." Wow, more than anyone. Suddenly Jungkook shouted at him, "Man, who's on the door? Why do you come here? Who are you?" She was asking, but he came and his face fell. Jimmy smiled after seeing Jungkook and looked at her and, "Do you know him?" "Yes, we have a very close relationship." "Why don't you like it?" "Why mean what's the reason? Why will you come? Will you ask every question he ever didn't invite me inside?" "Come," he smiled and walked inside the house in front of them. They closed in between them. They closed the door and Jimmy sat down on the couch which they brought from Ryan's house. Looking good together, when Janko smiled but one realized that his tune was different. "Well, why do you decide to marry him, huh?" "He proposed to him and I always wanted to marry a boy like him." He nodded as his heart was burning in jealousy. "Well, Jimin, what do you want?" "Thanks for asking, but I don't need it. I and Wine are running this show together and I also do another job." "Nice, I thought that you need more money as you are not married man." "No, we are okay. Thanks for asking." There was awkwardness between them. Wine was pursuing their relationship. "What do you like to drink?" "Wine makes best coffee." "Really fine, then I would like to drink." She got nodded and got up. Wine came into the kitchen. She saw them talking. She didn't know that they were what they were talking about. She was surprised to see him and also scared. She was now happily married, but she didn't want to see him. She remembered how she begged him while thinking about the past. She made the coffee and came back. "You just love to hear this." "Yes, it was a dream to become true." He smiled and while we trying hard to write his such emotions, one sudden on the with junk on her foot stumbled and she fell down. He helped her to stand up. "When are you okay?" He grabbed her. "And Miss Ryan, I'd like to drink the coffee again." I nodded and got up and she walked out. They looked outside the window and saw this new shiny car drove up. I looked at him. "Do you know him?" "Yes, he's my stepbrother." Mine's was waiting as he didn't accept it. They sat down. He's older than me. His dad is the richest man of the Asia. His dad left my mom and she married my dad. So why did he become here? "He always come in here. He offered me a job, but I don't want it." "But why? Why do you hate him?" "Because of his arrogance." "No, I don't hate him. I just want his money. I want to earn mine." I don't want his money. She smiled and hugging him. I'm with you. He has self-respect because he didn't want to call out that he uses stepbrother's money. We will learn together. We don't need anyone's money. That's it, son. She nodded and they again started making it. 1 week later, it was raining so hard they were going back home. But from work, suddenly man fell in wine. He helped her to stand, and it was hard for her to stand. He picked her up on his back, and then they walked towards the. They came back and they sat down. He grabbed her foot and she got up bruised. He put the ointment on and looked at her. His face went yes a little bit. She kissed on her neck and she smiled. Now it goes away. She smiled and started. And Jimmy was standing there while looking outside. He came back after hearing about her. She was getting married. He didn't know that she would marry someone or his brother. She had a case of gardening, so why did she marry me? He couldn't afford a pet for her. All that moment, I realized my love for her. But when she began begging, after her, I started to realize I also fell in love with him. And I decided to come back after completing the project. She married him. I found it in 2 years because of me. She got the place. While on the other hand, Jungkook and Wan were working here. He was a writer, but they were smiling. Wan gave her a task. If he weren't crossing this, they would go to the test trip. He was smiling and Wan was laughing. I will not lose Janko. Stop, you can't go out of me. He was also laughing because of her talk. Suddenly, she fell into the ocean. Within a second, he dived into it and they came out. He was shaving. He gave her his jacket and picked her up. She tightly hugged him. I thought that I would die. I wouldn't let you die. He water was jumping. Now he was drying her hair. Why do you always do clumsy things? I told you not to walk here. She looked at him and her eyes filled with tears. No, my baby, I'm sorry, I felt my body goes away with the waves. We will never go there again. At night, they were facing each other. She was telling him a story. I went on that and that was beautiful. There was so many rich people. They have luxury foods. Really? She nodded. There, I saw a businessman. He was so majestic. His transport. She said, I'm kidding. No one will be jealous. I thought that you really went there. Well, it is true. Really? How can you go there? It's a secret. She said, well, laying to me. He smiled and grabbed her waist. Her, no, you are kidding. She smiled and didn't say anything. He just was hugging. They were living happily. They had no financial problems because they both were doing well. They didn't want to go get rich, but they just wanted to live a decent life. Jungkook spent so many days in poverty in his life. It was his dream to achieve something. He stopped dreaming of getting rich. 3 months ahead was and she was working. A Jungkook was at work. Suddenly Jimmy's car stopped and he entered. She looked at him and the car and he walked towards her. She awkwardly stood there. Hi, Wine, how are you? Fine. Her voice was low. So how's your business going on? Fine. That's what are you happy with him? She frowned. Yes. So, okay, you forget everything. She nodded. It is so easy to forget the bad days of your life. Well, the days better was there for life when I got married to him. Really? You should stop thinking about it because we had nothing between us, and I'm happy with him. Yeah, we had nothing. If you need anything, then don't hesitate to ask me. I'm always available for you. Thank you. He smiled and walked. She again started doing her work. She came back and she still didn't come back. He became worried and called him. His number was off. Bad thoughts started coming into her mind for a few minutes. He waited for him, but then she decided to go at his place. When she came in, she saw him afflicting so much weight on his shoulder. Her heart broke and he had a problem on his shoulder and he looked at her. Why are you doing it? She walked towards him. I came here for your number is off. Yeah. Janko, why are you doing this? Fine, I'm doing extra work. I will get more money. But we have enough money. We don't do this. Look at your condition. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. She nodded and sat down there. While he completed his work, she came doing all work. It was his face. Jimmy was his brother, but has a different face and more money. But Minnie didn't find love. Now she was rubbing his muscle. He was saying, what do you do our work? I want to save money. It will be help us in difficult time. She humbly saw her words. He didn't listen to her as he always did. Overwork, he became so tired. Sometimes he slept while eating. He always carried Jimmy. Now he lay down and she hugged him. Seeing him in pain broke her heart. She leaned her heart with his head and closed her eyes. Her heart was heavy because she didn't want him to do overwork again. Now, a few months later, Jimmy was standing in front of her and I thought that he would come back to me. Why do you think this? Because I thought that you love me. No, why come back to me? You have a chance. He put the things hardly on the table and looked at him. Why do you think of you? Do you have a shame? I'm your brother's wife and you cannot buy me now. Get out. I don't me again. I don't want to see you. He was really. Are you sure I'm not going to show you my face again? He sweat. She again started uh, arranging things where she was tired of her weird behavior. She always came and said those things she really didn't want to go back to him. She only cared about her husband. She came back and saw him lying on in so much fever. She sat down beside him and looked at him. Why did you come back? Why don't take tension about me? You are not okay, she touched his face. I just took the medicine, now I'm feeling better. She kissed him and laid down beside him. She was hugging him. I want to be with you, he smiled. I have to go to work tomorrow. My boss will fire me. But you are not okay, I will go. I will get better. She nodded and he closed his eyes. He started patting his head. The next day he went to his work while suffering from a fever. She stopped him, but she was worried about that his word would fire him. Now she was holding this happening and decided to try. He was waiting, but then again he came.